Welcome to Martini Live. I just spent 2 hours in the doctor's office this afternoon for this congestion, and I found out that I needed some over-the-counter allergy medicine. A lot of pollen here in Virginia, a lot of pollen. So, I've been getting a lot of notices from Eckhart Tolle on my feed because he's been offering some web classes, 3 of them which were free, and they were very nice. And then, but I'm not going to take them because I didn't meet him, but I came in contact with Eckhart Tolle 2005. I was at the bookstore in Yogaville and had a bunch of books, and I was going out the door, and a Swami there said, "Oh wait, you ought to have this book." And so she gave me The Power of Now. I'd never heard of him, so I took it home and I began to read it. And I read it, and then, wow, and then I got his second book, The New Earth. And then I started getting his talks. And then we became a Eckhart Tolle Meditation Center, so I could get the talks at 40% discount. Nobody came to the center, but I got a lot of talks, and I wanted to talk about the Dharma Trail, following the Dharma Trail. Now we don't even know what Dharma means in this country, but Dharma means, it's a Sanskrit word, but it means life teaching, but not learning. It's life itself teaching. So the Dharma Trail, and I just had a thought. I grew up in the 40s as a kid, and in California, and we went to the movies, and in the movies we watched Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, and these singing cowboys were on the Dharma Trail. I just realized that, they were all on the happy trail, and they were singing, and they were catching the bad guys, and there was the shoot 'em up and all that. But they were on this trail. So this was kind of like a metaphor for the following a trail that kind of like ingrained itself in American mythology and mind, So now there's the Dharma Trail. So the Dharma Trail, there's a scent to it, or a feel, or a sound to it. And it's like there's a tuning fork in the heart. And when you see or hear a teaching in a book or in whatever, there's a vibration. There's a Dharma vibration. There's a connection. And so there's a scent. You could say the scent of Dharma. Well, the Dharma doesn't have any scent, but this is a metaphor. It's following the scent of something. The bloodhound follows the scent. No one else can smell it. Why are you going over there? I don't know. I smell something. So it's a path, a solitary path, because you can't follow the Dharma in a group. And it's a pathless path, because there is no Dharma path laid down for you. You have to create your path, which means that to follow the Dharma path, you have to want freedom so bad that you will leave your conditioning, your certainty, even though it's painful. You have to leave the pain of your present conditioning, your present life, for an unknown. So that means you have to step out and follow a path that does not exist. You have to create the path. That's why you can't go as a group, because a group can only go on a path that's already laid down. This path Joseph Campbell talked about this in the Arthurian romances, when the knights vowed to follow, create a quest for the Holy Grail, which is the Dharma. They all left the round table and they all entered the forest where there were no paths. Each one entered the forest where no one had been before. Sir Percival, who became the knight, the Grail Knight, was led to the Grail Castle because he dropped the reins to his horse and followed his nature. He let the horse follow the way to the Grail Castle. So that's following the heart. See, that's following the scent or the vibrations of the Dharma, which only the heart can pick up. The mind can't pick that up. It's a heart feeling, a heart feeling. So the heart is following a trail to the heart. The beloved, the heart is looking for its beloved, and the beloved is its own heart, which is one. The heart means, Dharma means one, or unity. So you're following a trail to unity. You're following the trail to your own heart, your own unity with the beloved, which is your own heart. You see. So this Dharma trail is a solitary trail, and you can pick it up in books, teachers, whatever, but you can only pick it up when there's a resonance. And then when you pick up a good scent, like in Eckhart Tolle, for instance, you pick that scent up, and then this is what I did when I picked it up in 2005. I read his books, I read them again. I got his talks, I listened to the talks again and again. I put them on CDs and put them in the car. I read his books or did his talks and took notes, listened to them again. You keep imbibing, you keep going over the talks, because the Dharma is not in the words. The words are the seen, but the Dharma is the seen and the unseen. So to get to the unseen, you have to go through the words so you can get the sense of the words, what the words are pointing to. All Dharma works, Dharma talks, are pointing. And if you just look at the finger and whether or not it needs trimming, you're missing the point. You need the finger, but you have to go, what is the finger pointing to? Well, the finger is not pointing to anything. It's pointing to unity, into the Dharma, which is you. It's your own heart, you see. But the heart is not thought. The heart does not think. The heart is all of you, which includes your body and your mind. It's the total you see. But we live in our culture just in the head. We just live in thinking. We just live in words. So we've missed the heart. So our own body mind is our beloved, but we think it's somewhere else, you see, in some other form. Maybe in a romantic engagement or something. So I guess the idea I want to convey here is that when you resonate with the teacher, you should just do that teacher until you are saturated, until you're full of it. And when that the Dharma that's expressed to that teacher then becomes your voice. Now I've been writing Eckhart Tolle now for the last, over 10 years. Every morning I get up, not every morning now, but I write meditations on Eckhart Tolle. I have a page. Look it up. Maybe some of you are getting it. But I have a little box of Eckhart Tolle quotes, and in the morning I turn it over and I read it and I write it down, and then I just write my meditation on it. I let my fingers write out a response, a creative response to it. You see, I am in a creative relationship with the Dharma of Eckhart Tolle. I've never met the man. I've never been to his physical courses. But I'm in a relationship with the Dharma that he expresses. And a relationship with the Dharma is creative. You become the expression of the Dharma. You become the flute for the music. You become the instrument for the Dharma to play, you see. And that instrument comes out in any form that you prefer. Could be music, piano, art, dance, gardening, writing, pottery, whatever form you can express creatively, you're expressing the Dharma. So the Dharma path, you see, can be discovered in your particular method or art, but the true path is to make your whole life Dharma, is to make your whole life art, so that wherever you go, you're at home on the Dharma trail, and you're always expressing the Dharma. You're always expressing your heart from the heart, which we call being authentic. You see, he speaks, he's an authentic guy. He speaks from the heart. You see, we all talk about that. We all know what that means, you know, and we're all looking for it. We're all looking for authenticity because we live in such a fake world. Talk about fake news, the world is fake. You see. But it's the only world we got. So this doesn't mean that the world is bad or it's illusion. It's just that we're not able to see through it. The fake world is also Dharma. The fake world is also pointing to the Dharma, just like the words of Eckhart Tolle or your teacher. Everything points to the Dharma. Everything points to the unity of life in the cosmos. Everything points. So following the Dharma trail is learning how to read the Dharma. Is learning how to see where the finger points instead of looking at the finger and saying, oh, that one's dirty, you got to cut that. You see, that misses the point. So this is what I say when I say everything's a metaphor. Joseph Campbell taught me that. Everything's a metaphor, which means everything points. And I do that on my talks. I pick up this, you see. I use this as a metaphor. You know, this, everything has, to me, has two fingers. One of them points to the fact. It's a glass with a glass with some gin and vermouth in it. That's the fact. But I also use it to point beyond that to the unseen. You know. So to me, I talk about a martini priest. Well, that's a metaphor. And this is communion. Well, communion is Dharma. I'm communicating Dharma to you. See, but I have to use the forms of the world. Because the Dharma doesn't have its own form. The Dharma has to use the forms of the world. So you pick up anything and it can point to the Dharma, or it can just point it to a fact. But when everything points to facts, the world is flat. It has no meaning, has no unity. It's fragmented. It looks like a Picasso painting. I was looking at the Guernica, I think that's how you pronounce it. That was on the Facebook. The painting of Picasso about the Spanish-American War. It was a picture of a fragmented society, just pieces, everything. He was just painting a picture of our fragmented modern world. That's the way it looked to him. It doesn't look like that to us. We think it's houses and all this, you see. But to a Dharma mind, it looks like it's all fragmented because he was drawing a mirror image of how the world really is when you just live in a world of facts and no Dharma. You know, it looks like a Picasso painting, full of horror and pain, you see. So when you realize that your world is painful and you can't get out of it, you become ready for the scent of the Dharma. You become ready for the trail of the Dharma, for that M&M, and you follow it because you can't go back. There's no going back. And so you follow it on faith. Faith that allows you to step out into the unknown and leave the certainty of your beliefs and your comforts and your conditioning and your old self. Your whole world is past. Your whole world is recycled landfill. And you step out knowing nothing. Like Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing, but you step out. And the Dharma will pick you up. And the Dharma will take you to your beloved, which is your own heart, and unity with the world, which is what we all want. So, I'll see you in the morning at Zen Live.